Welcome back. It is so good to see all of you for the My Tehillim Time Jewish Women's Virtual Festival. And guess what? We are in day 9. Now, why do I love day 9? Because 9 happens to be my favorite number. 9 represents emet, truth. And so I'm very excited for today's speaker. I'll be introducing her shortly. As you guys can see, we do have a transcription on the bottom in case for you to follow along. Tzipi, shout out goes to you. Thank you for helping to make that happen. You're a rock star. So it is so good to have you guys. For those of you that are joining for the first time, welcome. We've been waiting for you. It's been 8 incredible days and we're on to our 9th. We've been going strong with different incredible women speakers that have been sharing different views on different aspects of Tehillim. And we're going to be going through the Chagim into Cheshvan. So we have a long way to go and we're really excited about it. Every single day you could join us, 8:30 p.m. Israel time, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the same Zoom link. And if you don't know what the agenda is or who's going to be joining, you can check us out at abrahamslegacy.com/sign up. There you'll be able to see the list of the incredible women, the topics that they'll be speaking about. And you'll also have an opportunity to share your My Tehillim Time story, a Tehillim inspired story from your heart of how Tehillim has touched your heart, or whether it be a favorite perek or pasuk. So please check that out on the Abraham's Legacy website. All those who submit, whether through the website or if you post up on your social media platforms and you use the hashtag My Tehillim Time, you'll be entered to win 100% pure Copper Netillah cup to help you do another incredible mitzvah that has tremendous zechuyot. So we're very, very excited about this. To let you know the agenda for today, in just a moment, I'm going to introduce our incredible speaker. I'm really excited to hear this talk, I have to say, and I'm excited to get a copy of her book, specifically because one of them is focused on Mashiach. And as you guys know that have been following along, that's a topic that I'm very, very, very passionate about. After all, we're all coming together, we're all joining together to show the power of Am Yisrael when we connect. And instead of focusing on the things that divide us, focus on the things that unite us. That is what this is all about. So in a moment, we're going to be introducing the speaker. After the speaker, she'll be speaking for about 20 minutes, just to give you an idea. After the speaker, we're going to be joining her in a global Tehillim read through the Abraham's Legacy app. So if you don't have the app yet on your phone, you have the time now still to go to the App Store. It's a free app, L'Shem Shamayim. This app is made in memory of my grandfather, Avraham ben Polin. And so you'll be able to go download it. And in the same time, in real time, we'll all be able to click start reading. And each of us are going to get a different chapter from Tehillim so that we can complete the book. We've already completed almost 2 books each night. That's incredible, in a matter of 6 minutes. So we'll be doing a Tehillim read for 6 minutes, followed by, of course, our raffle. If we have time and you have questions for our incredible speaker, feel free to jot them down so that this way you can ask her, or maybe any comments that you want to say. And then finally, after the raffle, we'll be announcing tomorrow's speaker and saying our goodbyes. So that is the agenda for today. Are we ready? I am very, very, very excited. So today's speaker that I'll be introducing right now is Chaya Rivka Zwolinski. She is the director of Breslov Women, and she's the leading teacher of Breslov wisdom for women in North America, bringing compassion and a deep understanding of psycho-spirituality to her lectures and workshops, which take place in community centers, synagogues, schools, and other venues, as well as online to students on 6 continents. She's the author of several books, some of which include May You Have a Day, Making Every Day Better, with the teachings of Rabbi Nachman of Breslov. By the way, let me just say that her book is the book that is going to be raffled off today. So stay tuned for that raffle. If you don't know, by the way, how to enter into the raffle, you can do it by registering on our website at abrahamslegacy.com/sign up. So of course, she's the author of that book, May You Have a Day, as well as the bestseller, Mashiach, Hope for Turbulent Times. And her popular programs include the Azamra Holy Self-Esteem Program, contemplative writing workshops, Rabbi Nachman's Positive Psychology and Healing, Wisdom for the Wise, and others. And since 2010, she's also been coaching women struggling with anxiety, depression, trauma, and life transitions. She's also leading inspirational women's tours to Uman and Kivret Tzadikim in Ukraine. Now, you could visit her at breslovwomen.org. I'm going to put the information into the chat in a moment. And you could also join her for her free daily mini lessons on WhatsApp. All you need to do is text your name to her number, and I'll put the number in. It's 917-348-1573. Tonight, she's going to be speaking about Rabbi Nachman's advice on Tehillim. So without further ado, I give you Chaya Rivka Zwolinski. Thank you so much for being here.
So thank you so much, Orly and Naomi, for this incredible opportunity to be part of this really magnificent event. What a great idea. 29 talks about Tehillim. And I'm really just so happy to be part of it. Tehillim has had a transformative effect on my life. And I love to share Rabbi Nachman of Breslov's insights and teachings on the subject. And I'd like to begin with a story. So once upon a time, there was a man who lived in a little shtetl, in a house. And one night he had a dream. And in his dream, the dream told him that buried underneath a bridge in Vienna was a treasure, and that he should travel to Vienna and get that treasure. So he didn't pay it any attention because it was a dream, but he had the dream the second night, the same exact dream, and he didn't pay it any attention because it was a dream. However, when he had the dream the third night, he decided that he had to take action. So the next morning, he woke up, he packed his little knapsack with food, and he started the long hike to Vienna. Finally, he arrived, and there he located the bridge from his dreams. And standing near the bridge was a guard, a policeman guarding the bridge. So the little man waited until the guard's back was turned, and he went and he pulled out a spade and began digging all around the base of the bridge to find the treasure. Suddenly, he felt a hand on his shoulder, and the guard said to him, "What do you think you're doing, little Yid? What do you think you're doing?" And the little man said, "Oh," he said, "listen, please don't arrest me. I had a dream that underneath this very bridge was buried a treasure. And if you let me go, I'll split it with you." And the guard laughed and he said, "Oh, you Jews and your dreams, you people just dream all the time." He said, "For example, I myself had a dream and I didn't run after my dream." He said, "I dreamed that I went to a little town and visited a little house." And here he described the house. "And when I got there, I found out there was a treasure buried in the yard." He said, "Do you see me running off to that little town? Of course not. Now be gone with you." And the Jew immediately packed up his bags. He was so excited because he recognized his own house from the guard's dreams and the description the guard gave. So he quickly walked home and he went to his backyard and he began to dig. And lo and behold, he found the most magnificent treasure, and he lived happily the rest of his days. Now, Rabbi Nachman explains to us that everybody has a treasure buried deep within. However, to access it, we have to travel, and we have to travel to the true tzaddikim, to their teachings, to their wisdom, and to their inspiration. And when we do, we find the treasure that is our neshama, our soul. So Rabbi Nachman also explains that we can accomplish this very special feat of finding out what we have lost, because many of us, most of us, have lost a little bit of touch with our souls. And when we learn the teachings of the tzaddikim, or say Tehillim, say Psalms, we can find what we've lost. And the Rebbe gives us instructions about how to do that. He explains in several of his lessons in his magnum opus, Likutei Moharan, that we should strive to find ourselves in Psalms. Now, you may have picked up a book of Psalms and read about King David's enemies and said to yourself, okay, I have a person I don't get along with or two, but nobody's chasing after me in a life and death situation. And you may have read about wars and battles, and you've said to yourself, I'm not in a battle. I'm at home. I'm preparing dinner, and there's no war around me. So what do we mean by finding ourselves in Tehillim? So the Rebbe explains that King David wrote the Psalms on behalf of each and every one of us personally, with Ruach HaKodesh, and that each and every one of us has a link to Tehillim in which we can find ourselves. But in order to find ourselves, we have to do a little digging. What we're finding when we dig is we're finding the battles of our Yetzer Hara, our negative inclination. Those are the enemies that we're battling. Those are the struggles that we have. Now, yes, Psalms have a history, and David HaMelech is describing a very real history. But at the same time, with his Ruach HaKodesh, his prophecy, he is able to connect us to our inner struggles and our inner battles. And when we begin to see Psalms this way, we begin to really understand what's going on beneath the surface. And when we say Psalms in this way, we are actually going through the process of teshuvah, returning to HASHEM and returning to our true selves. Now, we are in Elul, and from now all the way till Hoshana Rabbah, we say Psalm 27 every day. And this psalm is so special. Whenever Elul comes around, I always remind myself, I should say Psalm 27 every day of the year. I love it so much. And of course, my good intentions sometimes fade away by Cheshvan. But why do I love this psalm? Because this psalm is the story of the Yetzer Hara, the inclination inside us that wants to devour us. What does it want to devour us with? With jealousy, anger, a lack of achdut, a lack of togetherness and unity, a lack of connection with other Jews, a lack of connection with ourselves. It wants to devour us, the good part, the neshama, the nekuda tova, and it wants to lead us away from ourselves. So we're very busy feeling all these negative emotions and not so busy focusing on what we should be focusing on, which is, of course, finding ourselves, coming close to HASHEM, closer to each other, and really leading a fulfilling, meaningful life with a lot of emunah, a lot of faith, and a lot of bitachon, a lot of trust. And Psalm 27, if you read it, and we don't have time today to go line by line through it, but if you read it, you will see that the text very clearly offers the antidote to every problem. Trust in HASHEM. trust in HaShem. Know that whatever turmoil you are going through personally, or whatever turmoil the world is going through at large, whatever you're feeling internally and whatever you're witnessing externally, everything is really in the hands of HaShem. And we say this psalm twice a day during this time, at least twice a day. You can say it more if you want. We say this psalm twice a day to remind us that as we get ready for the Yomim Tovim and the special days of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and beyond, we have the absolute best weapon to slay that Yetzer Hara. And that weapon is Tehillim. And in fact, that weapon is all prayer. So I like to say, I want to share with you a personal way that I like to say this psalm daily. I like to say it, and then I use it as a jumping off point into my own personal prayers, what is referred to as hitbodedut, which is when we talk to HaShem about whatever is on our minds and in our hearts. And the psalm is a roadmap to how to begin to address the issues that you're dealing with during this time as we are in the process of teshuvah, returning to HaShem, returning to our true selves. Okay, so Rabbi Nachman says so much about Psalms, and I want to share with you another little bit. Do I have a few more minutes? I think so. I want to share with you another story. And this story is one of my favorites. And these stories are not from Rabbi Nachman's Sipurei Masechta. They're not from his main 13 stories. These are parables the Rebbe tells to give us a quick fix, a quick boost, a quick inspiration. This story is the story of simplicity. And the story begins with the Rebbe speaking, telling us that HaShem wins battles because of the simple people who recite Tehillim with simplicity, very simply, without any sophistication. And here is the story. There is a king, and he's traveling in the forest with his ministers, and all of a sudden there's a terrible storm, and it rains and pours just like, literally like a flood. And the ministers run and scatter to get out of the rain, leaving the king trudging through the muddy forest floor, drenched, all alone. And suddenly he spies a little cottage, and he knocks on the door, and a little peasant lets him in. And the peasant sees this muddy personage, and he says, "Let me dry you off. Let me make you warm. I'll light a fire. Have some kasha with me. Have a bowl of buckwheat groats with me, because that's what you ate in Eastern Europe. Have that little bowl of kasha, and wrap yourself up and sleep here. You can have my bed. You go to sleep and have a good night's sleep." So the king, who was in disguise, ate and warmed up and drank some hot tea and went to sleep. And when he woke in the morning, he felt so good. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door, a loud bang. And there, outside his door, stood his entire retinue. All his ministers and servants were there. And they pointed to the king's magnificent carriage and said, "The rainstorm has stopped. We are here to escort you home back to the palace." And the king said, "I'm sorry. I'm not going with you. You abandoned me." He said, "This man here who took me in and split his dinner with me and gave me his bed and warmed me up, I didn't ask any questions. I'm going to walk back to the palace with him." and they walked back together, arm in arm. What is the meaning of this story? Rabbi Nachman tells us that in the times before Mashiach, there's going to be a tremendous flood in the world, a flood of atheism, a flood of immorality. It's going to be so bad that even the points, the high points in Israel, where the original Mabul, the original flood didn't reach, will be inundated and covered with this flood. And the only way out is by trusting in the simple power of Psalms said by the simple Jew without any sophistication. And all the ministers with their sophisticated talk, well, they don't get to crown Mashiach king. It's the simple people with a lot of amunah and a lot of bitachon who really just show the king love by saying Tehillim, which warms up Hashem's heart, so to speak. We're the ones that are going to get to put the crown on Mashiach's head. Now, if you are part of the Abraham's Legacy, My Tehillim program, and you are saying Psalms daily or whenever you have time, with simplicity, with a pure heart, for the sake of the mitzvah, because you love Hashem, and because you want to connect to your neshama and remember who you really are and return to who you really are, which is a holy Jew, that's who you are, then you will also join the rest of the simple Jews in placing the crown on Mashiach's head. Please, Hashem, may it happen in our time. Now we're going to have a Tehillim reading, and I'm going to ask Orly to take over and show everyone how to use the app.
Wow. I'm so touched by your words. Honestly, you had tears in my eyes. So beyond powerful. The power of simplicity, like you said, the power of simplicity. So I feel very honored to be a part of this. I'm so grateful. I can't tell you how grateful I am to each and every one of you for joining. And right now, what we're going to do with Chaya Rivka Zwolinski, we're going to read through the Abraham's Legacy Tehillim app for 6 minutes. Each of us, the parak that we get, I'm going to share a quick video that will show you, if you don't have the app downloaded, it'll show you how to download the app. If you don't have a smartphone, don't worry. You can open up your Tehillim book if you have a Tehillim book. And if you don't have a Tehillim book, don't worry. You can open up your heart and just speak to Hashem, and you'll be able to follow along with us. Just like we just heard, simplistically, simply, just to open up and to connect. Here we go. Before we continue with the countdown, I have forgotten to mention a few names, which I'd like to mention. If you're reading, you can continue reading. Please go for it, to keep in mind. And I'd like to mention Elul Nishma, my grandfather, Avraham ben Polin, Elul Nishmat Bar El Achya Hadera ben Nitza, the soldier who lost his life, Daniel ben Fega Chaya, and for the refuah shlema of Meir ben Mazal, Shoshana bat Chana Chaya, Chana Esther bat Ayala Hadar, Chava bat Yehudit, Michael Zalman ben Matle Naomi, Shira Malka bat Esther Chaya, John Claude Eliyahu ben Mazal Tov, and David Eliezer ben Leah. On behalf of Abraham's Legacy, we are excited to lead you in a Tehillim reading, where each and every one of us, from wherever we are in the world, can easily join in and complete a book of Tehillim in unison within minutes through a very special app called Abraham's Legacy, Tehillim Together, in memory of Avraham ben Polin. To be part of the global Tehillim read happening now, download Abraham's Legacy on your mobile device from the App Store, available for iOS and Android. You can also scan this QR code with your phone. To scan a QR code, simply open the camera on your phone and hold it up to this image. A link will appear on top, which you can click, and it will direct you to download the app. I'll give you all a moment to download the app. sign in, and in a minute, we will all click on the Start Reading button on the main screen, and each of us will receive a different perek from the Sefer of Tehillim so that we can complete the book and add to the global count. In the top right corner, you can click the icon to switch your language if you like. You'll also be able to see in real time the amount of people reading and countries reading. Don't forget, you'll need to confirm that you've completed the chapter. Let's put a few minutes on the clock to read in unison so that we can unleash the power of our combined tefillah. Tizku l'mitzvot.
קרבות עוד באוויר, עם עייף חובש פצעיו, יושב סופר ימיו, צעקות בושה בכל העיר, דור רוצה תשובה עכשיו, זכאי ולא חייב. בגוף עייף מכישלונות, בלב שבור לחתיכות, נחכה לך שתקבל פנינו. לך קראנו בלילות, ועוד נצעק ברחובות, רחם עלינו אבא הושיענו, הושיענו. זמן עובר כולם ממהרים, דור מחיש את פעמיו, רוצה הכל עכשיו, שמש בשמיים אפורים, עם בארץ אבותיו, נלחם עוד על חייו. בגוף עייף מכישלונות, בלב שבור לחתיכות, מחכה לך שתקבל פנינו. בגוף עייף מכישלונות, בלב שבור לחתיכות, מחכה לך שתקבל פנינו. לך קראנו בלילות, ועוד נצעק ברחובות, רחם עלינו אבא הושיענו, הושיענו. הגיע הזמן להתעורר, לעזוב הכל, להתגבר, לשוב הביתה, לא לחפש מקום אחר. הגיע הזמן להשתנות, גם אם פספסנו תחנות, אפשר לרדת, יש רכבת, חזרה לשכונות. הכל אפשר רק אם נרצה, המחפש תמיד מוצא, גם אם הוא נמצא אי שם הרחק בקצה. דלתות שמיים לא ננעלו, כשהבן קורא הצילו, אבא שבשמיים מגיע אפילו שעשינו משהו רע, הוא מוחל וסולח, מוחל וסולח, מושיט ידו לעזרה ונותן ברחמיו את הכוח לתקן ולשוב אליו. הזמן להתחרט, אם כבר לברוח אז מאחת, אם כבר לקחת אז לקחת בשביל לתת, וזה הזמן להתקרב, לא לפחד מהכאב, ואם לתת אז כבר לתת מכל הלב. הכל אפשר רק אם נרצה, המחפש תמיד מוצא, גם אם הוא נמצא אי שם הרחק בקצה. דלתות שמיים לא ננעלו, כשהבן קורא הצילו, אבא שבשמיים מגיע אפילו שעשינו משהו רע, הוא מוחל וסולח, מושיט ידו לעזרה, ונותן ברחמיו את הכוח לתקן ולשוב אליו. אפילו שעשינו משהו רע, הוא מוחל וסולח, מושיט ידו לעזרה, ונותן ברחמיו את הכוח לתקן ולשוב אליו. הזמן להתעורר, לעזוב הכל, להתגבר, לשוב הביתה.
We finished the book of Tehillim and we're into the second book, and you can go ahead and you can finish the chapter that you're currently reading. Absolutely incredible. I love seeing the amount of people. We had about, I think at 1.6 countries on with us. And you can come back to this app every day. Take 1 minute, 30 seconds each day, read one chapter, and you're part of completing one book. Just 30 seconds, you're part of completing one book. But not only that, share it with others. Let them know how they can get involved. Think about it. Right now here, we have 55 women on. I don't know how many people are watching live. We have 55 women on. If each one of us will share with one other person, whether it be this talk that you heard today or one of the past talks or about the app, think about how many more people, little by little, it adds up, right? It adds up. Every person that we reach out to, it's another person that's being added to the tefillot that we're saying. Just so that you know, if you've missed the talk in the past and this talk as well, all of the talks are uploaded to the Abraham's Legacy YouTube channel under the playlist My Tehillim Time. So you'll be able to see them time and time again. So please do share with others. I want to give an opportunity for anyone that is on. If you have any questions or comments for Chaya Rivka, now would be the time to ask. I want to really give a round of applause just for the incredible talk and the messages that you gave over today. Truly amazing. So if there's anybody that would like anything to say, please feel free to unmute yourselves, and you'll be more than happy for you to share your thoughts. And in just a moment, we're going to do the raffle, so don't go anywhere. Okay, if that's not a problem, in case something comes up that you have a question or you want to ask, please feel free to send me an email, info@abrahamslegacy.com. And I'll also put for you here my WhatsApp number. I answer every message, so feel free to message me about anything, whether it's with the app, anything else. That's exactly what I'm here for. So we're ready to do the raffle, and we're going to be doing the raffle for Chaya's amazing book, May You Have a Day, Making Every Day Better with the Teachings of Rabbi Nachman of Breslov. So here we go, and I'm gonna share my screen so we can spin the big wheel, and we're gonna spin the wheel. Let's see who's the winner for today. Yesterday's winner, by the way, was Daniela Robinson, and the winner for today, and it's by email address, is debzbech@gmail. I can't remember exactly how to pronounce it. It's all good. I will send you a message, so this way you'll be able to send me your address, and I will make sure that I send you your copy of this book, this incredible book. I want to thank you guys so much. Before we go, I just want to mention our speaker for tomorrow. Tomorrow's speaker is Rabbi Tzipora Heller Gottlieb, who will be sharing Tehillim for a sweet new year. Same time, same place, same link. If you're not yet registered, I highly recommend that you do register on our website, because this way each day you'll receive an email reminder for who the speaker is that day, as well as a personal invitation from the speaker and the speaker's My Tehillim time story. If you're not receiving the emails, it's very likely it could have gone into your promotions folder. So make sure that you check it out. And of course, when you register, you're automatically entered into the raffle. Chaya Rivka, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart on behalf of all of us here for inspiring us with your words and with your neshama.
I just want to say thank you so much. I always really get inspired when I share Rabbi Nachman's teachings and his stories, and to share them with such a beautiful group. And then we can say Tehillim afterwards and complete the Sefer. Really special. What you're doing is unbelievable. It's such a beautiful, beautiful project. And I wish you so much hatzlacha, and I want to be a part of it.
You are certainly a part of it. And I'm very, very, very grateful for you being a part here. I just want to give some thank yous before we head off. I want to give a big thank you to Naomi Journo, my partner in Tehillim. Thank you so much for all the work that you've done to help put this together from Naomi's Uplifting Events. I want to thank all of our speakers. Of course, Chaya Rivka Zwolinski herself for coming on today. And I'd love to thank each and every one of you for choosing to be here, because you could be choosing to do anything else right now, but you're choosing to be here. And I love seeing your faces each and every day. And of course, the top thank you goes out to HASHEM for giving me the opportunity to be here every day, to be doing this every day, to be able to be living in Yerushalayim. I'm very excited. And Bezrat HaShem, I'm going to see you all. I'll save you a seat by the Beit HaMikdash. Okay. I'm going to save you a seat. We're going to dance together. I'm serious, by the way. I'm not just saying these words. I really mean it. Okay, so I'm very, very excited for it. But I love you guys. I know that I don't know all of you personally, but I really do love you all with all my heart. And we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for the My Tehillim Time Festival, day number 10. Take care, everyone. Have a great night.